In a previous video, I showed you how to set up some hotkeys in edit mode. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. One of those hotkeys was W for quickly subdividing, and I'm going to change this to select circle, drop my radius down so I can do some click dragging like this. Subdivide here, subdivide there. I also explained a little bit about my hotkey philosophy, which is something akin to Street Fighter 2. So in Street Fighter 2, not for every character, but for a lot of characters, you can always count on down towards punch to do a projectile. So I really like this philosophy of let similar things do similar things when and wherever possible. So since we're now using W to subdivide in edit mode, wouldn't it be nice if W also added a subdivision modifier while in object mode? Of course, we can do that. We can press tab to go back into object mode. We can do that in preferences. Click on key map. I'll close this up. And let's just type in sub. And you can see that in object mode, there are these hotkeys, Control 0, Control 1, to add different level of subdivision modifiers. We want one for W, but first we want to make sure that W isn't already doing something else, which I'm pretty sure it is. So to check that out, we can click key binding and then select this and press W. And then we want to see what's going on in the 3D view or object mode. So hierarchically, if there's a hotkey in 3D view, it will also happen in object mode because this is kind of a general hotkey thing up at the top. So this will change this tool here. I'm less interested in that functionality. You may be not. If you are, you can adjust this to whatever you want, but I'm going to uncheck that. And of course it disappears because this is showing us everything using a W hotkey, and we just told it, hey, we don't want you to be a W anymore. So we can go back to name, click subdivide, type in subdivide, and we want to click in one of these areas so we can Control C and grab one of those operator names and add our own hotkey. So to do that, we want to go to 3D view, and we want this hotkey for object mode specifically. And to do that, we're going to have to go into object mode global, scroll down, press add new, and press Control V here and change this. You can click either this button or this button and press W to enter the hotkey. And we want the level to be set to a default of 2. 2 subdivisions is nice. So we'll close this out. All right, we got this, we press W, and it gets subdivided. But I would say it's pretty rare that I would add a subdivision modifier to an object without also adding smoothing. So my next step would probably be right-click and then shade smooth. But wouldn't it be great if we could tell Blender to handle that all automatically for us when we tap W? Well, we can by creating a macro key. Okay, so we already have W to add the subdivision. So we need to find the hotkey for smooth to add that on. But if I right click, you'll notice that there is no default hotkey set to shade smooth. So we need to find out what that is. So a quick way to do that is to go to Edit, Preferences, Interface, and turn on Python Tooltips. Now when we right click, we can see it says bpy.ops.object.shadesmooth. The information we're interested in is object.shadesmooth. Let's go to Edit, Preferences, and then Key Map. And we want this for object mode, which goes in object mode global. We'll scroll down to the bottom, close that one up, press Add New. And so we saw that was object.shadesmooth. We could check again, right click, let the mouse wave for a second. It says object.shadesmooth. So we'll just type that in, object.shade_smooth. Hit enter. Now we want this to happen at the same time that we did the subdivision set, which is an operator that adds the subdivision modifier for us. So we'll click either here or here and tap W, but instead of where it says press here, we want this to activate when we release. So we'll click release, and that way when we press down on W, the subdivision modifier will be added, and when we release W, the smoothing will be added, and thus the circle of life is complete. So let's test out our new little macro. Press Shift A, add a cube, bring it over here, tap W, and we get a smooth cube. Let's test it again real quick, make sure it wasn't a fluke. We'll add a monkey, grab it, tap W, and now we have a smooth and subdivided monkey. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you next time.